Okay, so let's leave and go on to this area here, newspaper building. Yeah, this building doesn't look like it's in good shape. What's left of the newspaper building after an extreme fire? Pipes, at least the plumbing held up. There doesn't seem to be much around here. We'll leave for now. Okay, looks like we're going to Edna's Diner next. Motorcycle. Huh, I see what I did. Dean Hayes Diner instead of Edna's Diner. Gets the E's out. Regarding, you can hear the sonorous buzz of the neon sign.
Hi, what's your name?
Karen,
What are you doing?
playing. My mom is working, so I gotta stay out of her hair. Wanna play?
Not now, maybe later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Oh, she's so cute. She's probably the only actual sane person here so far.
Oh, Steve, what are you doing, sneaking up on me like that? God, for a second I thought you were Mr. Johnson. What would you like to order? Sure. And my name's Edna Fitzpatrick. I'm not the one with amnesia.
Then you believe me.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
I guess I've changed. I'm not kidding.
Now, Steve, faking amnesia won't help anything. If you don't want to marry Stephanie, then don't. But don't play sick, for heaven's sake. I'd expect that from Karen, not an 18-year-old. You've met Karen, my 8-year-old. Other than the diner, she's all I have.
She's so adorable. Well, it seems to be the only normal thing here so far, kind of.
There isn't a nicer girl in Harvest than Stephanie, Steve. You should be grateful that she's promised you her hand.
I don't remember that happening, Edna.
Honestly, you men are so childish. I don't know what it is about marriage that turns even the bravest man into a coward. I was going to marry Karen's father when he just up and ran out on me one night. I heard that he joined the lodge, but if he did, I never saw him come out again. Even Sheriff Dwayne wasn't able to find out what happened to him.
Maybe he realized what was going on and wanted to up and leave.
There isn't a nicer girl in Harvest than Stephanie, Steve. You should be grateful that she's promised you her hand.
I don't remember that happening, Edna.
Honestly, you men are... Mr. Johnson has a liking for me. I'd call it a crush, but that's too innocent a word. He's a bitter man with too much time on his hands. He's never gotten over being rejected by the lodge, and there's something unwholesome in the way he looks at me. I'm always glad when the sheriff comes in every day at noon.
Yeah, don't blame me.
Stop by anytime, Steve.
Yeah, he seems like to be a crazy guy. Oh, hello there, Dwayne. Nice to see you again, Bet.
Hello there, Steve. Here for lunch?
No, just here looking around, though I'm not entirely sure where here is.
Oh, I forgot. You're playing your little amnesia prank. Well, boy, this is DNA's Diner. Isn't that right, Edna?
Don't listen to Sheriff Dwayne. This is Edna's Diner. But ever since the E burned out on the sign, they've been giving me a hard time.
Now, don't be like that, Edna. It's a great place to eat, which is good, since it's the only place to eat in Harvest.
Okay, yep, I'm done with talking to you.
Stop on by any time, Steve.
Yeah, don't know if there's anything else. I'm not sure. Let's look in here. There's a screwdriver. Should take that. Okay, there doesn't seem to be anything else around here. So we shall leave. Okay, where else are we off to now? Okay, we'll go to the school next. Okay, well, there doesn't seem to be anything to look at, so...
Steve, good of you to drop by, big guy. Haven't seen you since graduation. A lot of changes, I hear.
You could say that.
Good, good. That's a nice part of my job. Turning fine young men and women out into the world, and then watching them prosper. Of course, I was able to reach more people at the old Sentinel, God bless her. But then again, I never got to see the results of my work up close before.
Who are you?
You know very well I'm Mr. Harold, the principal of Gain Memorial. Steve, I've heard about this amnesia nonsense. I had hoped you'd be in the lodge by now, fine young fellow like yourself. But now, I think maybe you need a little more quality time.
Depends on what your definition is of quality time.
Boy, I sure miss the old newspaper. The sheriff never did investigate that fire properly. Call it a newspaper man's instinct, though I can't imagine why Sheriff Dwayne would cover up anything. I mean, the only ones who stood to profit from the newspaper going out of business was the owner of the TV station, and Mr. McKnight had an airtight alibi. Still, if not for the fire, I never would have wound up as principal of Gein Memorial.
Gain Memorial? Sounds like a cemetery or a hospital, not a school.
This institution was named for a great man, whose first name escapes me. He epitomized the great potential within us all, big guy. I hear there's an honorary plaque commemorating him within the lodge.
Why do you keep calling me big guy?
A sign of respect, lad. As principal, my station is higher than yours now, but you never know what the future holds, so you should always hedge your bets and pay tribute to your inferiors. You never know who will come to power, or who, even now, wields it behind the scenes. For all I know, you might already be a member of the order, with access to the lodge. If that were the case, you'd be my superior, and I'd be all that much better off having shown you respect and spent some quality time with you.
What do you mean, quality time?
Some, like Miss Whaley, favor stern discipline, corporal punishment, as a means of socialization. Myself, I temper discipline with love. Quality time can be such a warm, sharing experience. After just a few sessions, you'd stop this amnesia nonsense and become a productive member of society and a fit candidate for the lodge. Big guy, barring some quality time, the greatest gift I can bestow upon you as your former principal is a word of advice. Join the Order of the Harvest Moon at any cost. Within the lodge lies your future, and without, dust. Surely mine is the most important position in Harvest. The ability to mold young minds. That's power. You might think Sheriff Dwayne's the most important man here, big guy, but he only deals with my failures. When I do my job right, the sheriff never sees a thing.
Okay, I think we're done here.
Drop in again soon. Adult education is a wonderful thing, as is adult quality time.
So he's also a creep, along with everyone else in this town, almost. Okay, looks like Bake Sale is going to be here. Okay, because I wrote all the inexplicable stains and dents. I don't know if I'd call that inexplicable, but... Okay, well, we'll leave for now. I don't have anything to do in there for now. We did actually go to the TV station, so we'll go there. There's a lot of people here. Backdrop, pointing western backdrop, complete with cardboard teepee. Okay,
Stay tuned, buckaroos. There's more to come on Range Riders Cowboy Roundup. So don't go away.
looks like he's done with everything.
And what's your name?
Don't blame him.
hombre?
Steve.
Steve's a swell name. My dog's name is Steve. Would you like my autograph, Steve?
Yeah, I
Here
guess.
you go, then.
Okay, well now that I have your thing, maybe I could give it to, a brother, maybe?
Violence? What about it? Violence is as American as apple pie and low SAT scores. Where would we be right now if the cowboys hadn't gone out west and butchered innocent people to steal their land? Answer me that, Mr. Know-It-All.
But what about studies that have shown that children become more violent when watching violence?
Oh my god.
Buckaroo,
Oh, that talk
I
again.
ripped the guts out of godless heathen Injuns. Most kids don't see godless heathen Injuns on a regular basis, and if they do, they better either get their eyes checked or do like old Range Rider and shoot the bejesus out of them, lest they want to go untreated for psychotic hallucinations, or wind up with their scalps hanging from a buckskin belt. Oh, shit! Ow! Shit on a stickeroo! The parents
Okay.
that are griping about violence on TV are the same parents that go outside in the morning to fetch their papers, secure in the knowledge that they won't get an arrow through the noodle because the violence they hate so much done cleared the engines out of the neighborhood.
Yeah, civilization has benefited from violence. But should violence be treated as entertainment?
Check my rating, son. Violence is entertainment. I just put it on the air. If some kid watches, that says something about the kid, not me. Now,
And also about the
excuse me,
parents.
we're going back on the air.
Yeah. Nothing to say. But no one is operating the cameras. Okay, well I will leave now. Okay, well, let's go to the meat plant. Is that there? A big building with horrible stench coming from within. Wait, is that a kitty? I think I saw a kitty there. There's a kitty! So many kitties! Look how I'm more interested in the cats than what's going on elsewhere. Okay, I'm just gonna ignore that. I
Steve,
saw that.
how's your father? Is he better?
About the same, I guess.
He's been away from work for weeks, and when I call your house, your mother won't let me talk to him.
I haven't seen him either.
This is a fine kettle of fish, I must say. Though I am glad to see you taking an interest in the business in your dad's absence.
Who are you?
Aw, Steve, I didn't want to believe that amnesia hokum. Now you're saying you don't remember your pal Pat O'Reilly?
What's with all
Kitties.
the cats? This a slaughterhouse or a kennel?
Oh, them? They eat the scraps, that's all.
Yeah, but look at them. Isn't there some kind of health department that keeps tabs on these things?
Are you going to work at the health department, Steve? Or here? That's good to know. Your father will be very happy, if he recovers.
My point was only, you shouldn't allow animals in the food processing area, right?
We don't let them get into the meat. That's unsanitary, and the health department wouldn't stand for it. There's things you don't know about the family business, but you'll learn.
Sure, I will.
You may come to realize that this business is not for everybody. Just ask your poor, ill dad. It takes dedication and a strong stomach.
You really need to show that.
A lot of times, when I'm finished scrubbing up and digging the bits of intestine out from my fingernails, I must confess I don't have much appetite for red meat. But red meat is one of the principal food groups, and you've got to have it. So when you can do this all day and help yourself to a juicy red steak afterwards, then by golly, you can call yourself a butcher. Of course, amnesia would certainly help that, wouldn't it? What exactly is wrong with your dad?
I don't know.
I wouldn't worry about it too much, Steve. You should be thinking about running the family business one day. That, getting into the lodge.
Come to think of it, I don't see any cattle around here. Where do you keep the animals?
Does it matter? The end product is all the customer cares about, Steve. And we only carry the finest meat, only the juiciest cuts. Once you take over the business, you'll realize the importance of maintaining quality. If we
Yeah,
didn't,
seen it.
would the lodge use us to cater their affairs?
Can you say that again? I have a bad feeling about where they get the meat from, because, yeah, the fact that earlier they mentioned that in this diner that her husband disappeared. Well, I think it was her that mentioned it, and yeah, I have a feeling that that's not cattle. Oh yeah, that's right, we need some meat, so we can give it to the other guy.
Your father's very particular about the profit, Steve. No freebies for anyone. But seeing how you're his son, if you'll bring written permission from your father, I'll give you the meat.
Damn it. 'Cause we need the meat to give to the other guy. Carcasses of several small animals. Yeah, I don't think they're animals, dude. Freshly cut meat. This used to be a kitty cat. Okay, I just want to leave here. Oh yeah, little kitties. There's so many of them. Okay, let's check out this missile base. You right there, dude? What are you doing?
Oh, who goes there?
They tell me my name is Steve.
All right. This is Section 21. Keep your distance, son. I wouldn't want to have to blow your head off.
That makes two of us.
So you're the amnesiac, huh? Just another draft-dodging ploy the way I see it. But at least you're not an alien. You see their ships every now and then. Sometimes Swell bags one in the woods.
Who are you?
Colonel Buster Monroe, commander of the Harvest Nuclear Missile Installation, keeping America safe from those who would dye our flag red, white, and pink.
These are nuclear missiles?
Yeah, you just realized that now.
Every one of them ready to rain death on the Ruskies. All I gotta do is hit the button and blammo! The price of vodka goes through the roof. Along with the vodka.
Well,
Not
I
the vodka.
suppose you have, you know, safeguards against accidents?
Safeguards? Don't be such a weak sister. There are no safeguards. This is the 50s.
Then you have sole control of the, missiles.
That's right. Been in charge here since WW2, when I got my lower torso shot off in the war. Those pantywaists in Washington wanted to stick me behind a desk. To hell with that. They owed me. I left my legs in Dusseldorf. They owed me. Of course, they felt that after the trauma of having to crawl from Germany to England trailing my intestines behind me, I was too emotionally unstable to continue in the military. That's why they gave me this nice cushy job and put me in charge of the nuclear missiles.
Sure they did. Plus, wouldn't he be dead if he had to crawl from all the way from Germany to England? without getting treated.
Why are you asking about the button, son?
I'm
Because
just
I
a
want to
little
press it.
nervous about it. I mean, suppose an accident happens.
Don't get your panties in a bunch, mister. The button is perfectly safe. I keep it on my person all the time.
Uh-huh.
No commie bastard is getting his mitts on this button. No siree, Bob. No one initiates a nuclear holocaust and harvest except me. Now, doesn't that make you feel better?
Not really.
Frankly, all these questions are making me a little suspicious of you. Maybe you're one of those pink-blooded Americans. Can you give me any reason why I shouldn't shoot you right now? I appreciate your honesty, comrade.
Oh god, is he actually gonna shoot me? Crap. Whoops. A little bit of an accident there. Oh, great, and I forgot to say regularly too, didn't I? I didn't really listen to that tip. Oh, looks like I'm gonna have to go back a bit. Son of a bitch, it didn't save, so looks like I'm going to restart the entire thing again. Oh shit.
In the doghouse if you keep bugging me, 'cause I'm sick, and I'll tell Mom if you don't let me watch TV.
Okay, I'm gonna maybe try to do some different choices. Seeing as I went in to play through this again, so I might do like a little montage of stuff.
Why am I a rat? What did I do to you?
You went and got all mushy on that girl, and now you're lighting out on me. Well, if that's the way you're gonna be, then you can drop dead.
Ow. Thanks, kid.
What do you mean I'm lighting out on you?
First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes Steve in a baby carriage.
What the hell are you talking about?
Mom, Steve said hell.
Young man, don't you dare use that kind of language in this house.
How'd you like that?
Yeah, I hate you.
'Cause you're lighting out on me to go off with that stupid girl. So tough it. I don't care anyway.
Okay.
I don't know what girl you're talking about.
Well, you can't stop me, so let me alone. Or else.
Or else what?
Annual blood drive, huh?
If you knew how much blood we get, you'd be more impressed. Donations are mandatory, Steve. If you're still here come Sunday, you'll be expected to give.
Until it hurts, I suppose.
Until it hurts. Even Hank will have to donate. Of course, lodge members are exempt. Remember that.
Hey, either way, no one's sticking me with a needle.
We don't use needles.
I was gonna say, you're probably not gonna use needles. I'd say large needles, like knives.
Hey, Steve, I'm Jimmy James. Remember me?
I guess not.
Hey, Steve, you've been doing a swell job putting the paper out in the morning. You just keep doing that and we won't have any problems. That's not much to ask, is it?
Okay, did I give it to him? Okay, it looks like I actually gave it to him. Awesome. Because I didn't do that last time.
See you later, alligator.
Oh, okay. So by doing that, I don't get the whole conversation.
Honestly, You men can insult a woman without even knowing you've done it. What a horrible thing to say.
They're both standing around baking cookies. Same cut of dress. Same pearls. So bizarre.
There's nothing bizarre about baking cookies. The Harvest Charity Bake Sale is Friday, you know, and by gosh, Mrs. Marvin Potston Jr. can be counted on to do her share.
Got more than a share.
Sorry, you'll have to ask Mrs.
Hello, dear. She's upstairs. Go right on up. Just remember, she's grounded until the wedding.
Okay, that was weird. It's probably because I insulted her first, so I didn't get permission straight away. So yeah, it's
Give my regards to your parents.
nice to see that like things happen differently if you say different things or do different things.
What makes you so sure she needs a penis?
You saying Edna's getting it from someone else? Like maybe that damn Sheriff Dwayne? He's over at DNA's diner every day from noon to 1, eating his dadgum pie. And I got a feeling he'd like Edna for dessert. Sure, it's the only diner in town, but I'm sure he's got more on his mind than food.
Probably shouldn't have said anything. Oops.
As owner of the only hotel in town, I do my best to accommodate any hobo who straggles into town, vacancies permitting. I really don't recall. We get so many low-life dregs passing through here, I can't remember every little death that occurs.
Huh. Are there that many?
As I said, sliced open on a mortician's slab, every corpse looks the same. Red and juicy.
But surely you'd remember if these deaths were an unusual occurrence.
You sound like you're launching some sort of investigation, Stephen. That would be most unwise.
You're one very creepy person.
We get a lot of bums, drifters passing through Harvest. Those people are never very healthy to start with. I figured they come to our fair town, look around, and decide it's a nice place to die.
You mean they drop dead here on a regular basis?
Like flies. I'd slap 'em all in jail if I could, but there's never enough room. Besides, they're pretty good about not sticking around long. Sure, it's a burden on Mr. Moynihan, though, having to bury them all. I only hope the PTA Lodge bake sale will help out along those lines.
Just had a thought, because how I think this story is going to go, I'm having a feeling that bombs are probably getting murdered, not dropping dead of their own accord. I have a feeling that's how it's going.
Now that's a place you don't want to wind up, boy. We've got a 3 strikes and you're out rule here in Harvest. You get arrested the 3rd time, you never get out of jail alive. So don't go committing any crimes, boy. Amnesia or no, I'll lock you up pronto.
Okay, that's a good warning, because I know they'll probably end up killing me if I do that. Don't need another game over.
The lodge.
Why?
The wheat ripens and waits not for the scythe. The farmer who waits too long, it were better that he use the scythe to rip his own stomach out than to stay his scythe when the wheat ripens. The harvest moon wanes and then comes winter. An empty belly, the body sun's belly, gurgling within or bloody on the ground. What does it benefit a man if he gains his soul and loses the world? You hunger. Feed yourself before it's too late. Oh.
Edna?
Steve. What happened? Were we talking about Boyle? Or was it Karen?
You seemed strange there for a minute.
I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of stress. Running this diner all alone. Forgive me.
Don't like where this is going. Got really creepy there for a second. Well, not creepier than usual.